all rituals, all practices, things of tantric nature are not allowed to be recorded unless they have my permission. If they are recorded without my permission, or in any case in Lama's permission, those transmissions have no power. And there will be a downfall on the tantric house. A downfall. So do not take it very lightly. Do not put your things away sarcastically or slowly, because the Lama told you to put it away. You put it away immediately because it will be a downfall on your tantric commitment if you were to record or to write or do anything without permission. And as usual, some of you will not believe me. If you look at any tantric text on the front English, you read at your own risk. So by doing that, you create a downfall in your own vows. So be very alert and very aware of the tantric teachings. I am very strict on tantra, very strict, and I don't play the fool. And those of you who know me more than 1 day or 1 year, you should know that also. So do not play the fool with tantra with me. Any recording, any type of writing, anything you want, even video, you must have my explicit permission. Explicit, do not assume. Do not record and say, oh, we can erase it later. No. It's a tantric infraction. Remember that. Alright, now, we've reached a stage where our organization needs to grow. The obstacles for it to grow is over. So whether we do business, whether we expand the center, whether we expand the temple, whether we expand our retreats, whether we expand our personal work for Dharma, it will definitely grow. The ingredient is consistency, stable consistency, and knowledge, behavior, outlook. There is no reason why our organization will not grow from now. There is no reason. It will grow. 5 years, I was given by the Great Protector, told me literally all of us to lie low. And now it's all the way. So those of us who are still sleepy, those of us who still is not alert, so those of us not pushing ourselves to move ahead, well, you're not going to be able to collect so much merit. You're not going to be able to be involved directly until you wake up and you become alert. What we need to do is, very important is the way we dress. Very important. The way we talk. The way we act. And the example we give other people. Karmically, there is no reason why we will not expand and grow karmically. No reason. The only reason it will be delayed is by our own actions and by the way we behave. And most important is how we behave with each other. How we behave with each other is going to make us grow. Why? I'm not talking about just other Dharma students. It starts with people, with our families, with our wives and husbands, with our brothers and sisters, with our kids, with our partners, with our co-workers. How we behave with each other is very, very important. And when I say behave, I don't mean that you're little kids who are nasty and you're fighting. I don't mean that way. I mean to break the habituation of the way we usually talk. I'll tell you why. If we don't break this habituation the way we usually talk, we're being hypocritical. It's hypocrisy. Why? If we don't talk nice with the people that are sitting right next to us and living in our own house, our wives and husbands, and we don't transform that, how do we expect to transform on the outside? So if we cannot talk nicely with our own people, if we start talking with the outside people, it's hypocrisy. And that will not add to our practice. As I've said many times, practice starts at home. Dharma starts at home. Home meaning where? Ourselves and the people around us. Then we expand. So you're saying, what does that have to do with the organization growing? Everything. Everything. Why everything? Because if we don't talk correctly with the people around us and we don't start training with the people around us, when do we expect to start training? With the people that we see once in a blue moon? With the people that we see once in a while? No. We have to start talking very nicely and very kindly and very respectfully. And we have to change our habituation the way we've been talking with the people very close to us. That we've been talking for the last 1 year, 5 years, 20 years, 30, 50 years, whatever. We have to. If we don't do that, that awareness will not be there. When that awareness will not be there, the minute something goes wrong, we're going to throw a BM. And that has a very bad image on the outside. That's a bad image for you as a Yida. Those of you who are doing tantric practice. As a Yida, it's very bad. Do you know why? You are denying who you really are. Each time you think the low depths, you deny who you are. So each time you do that, the other person that you're trying to get immediately gets it, and you feel satisfied. But in the end, you get it because you deny who you are. So if you are Yamataka, and you act un-Yamataka, then you bring yourself down on the lowest level. You will never be able to bring your family members and people close to you into the Dharma. Never. Never. Why? Because you're only acting. You're only acting. People who are not acting, even people that they just meet on the streets, they can bring to the Dharma. Oh yes. You see, you can eat dinner with a person. You can shout at a person. You can have sex with a person. You can fight with a person. You can punch a person. You can slap a person. You can tell a person off. If your motivation is Dharma, those people will come to Dharma. Why? Listen carefully. It is not the action. It is the intent. Then, if it's the intent, it must be intent that has been practiced for many years, maybe many lifetimes. So some people shout, they bring people to the Dharma. Some people shout, people run. Why is that? Because of intent that's been built up for many lifetimes and the power behind it. So what you do with a person doesn't really matter. I'm not saying throw caution to the wind. I'm not saying there's no vows. No. Example. His Holiness Vajrasattva was famous for shouting and beating and sweeping. Famous. Not one or twice. If you did something wrong, you're the abbot, you're the head of the monastery, you're anyone. You'll be called into Vajrasattva's group. And he will slap you and beat you. And you know what? He'll have his attendants lock the door on the outside to make sure you can't run. Some more. Because he's older, he can't chase you. He will beat you and slap the crap out of you. But you will become much better at that. Of course, those kind of radical tantric actions we cannot do in countries such as Malaysia or America. Outside of Tibet, people don't have that kind of understanding. They don't have that kind of understanding in order for their merits to purify. Their merits understand and to purify their karma so quickly. But there are lamas who have radical tantric actions who can shout at you, purify your karma, and who can slap you and beat you, literally punch you or slap you and make your mind clear. Why? Because of their intention. But outside countries, we can't do things like that. I'll tell you why. People don't accept. People don't know, and they don't have the merits to purify quickly. It will be faster from a high tantric practitioner to get a slap very hard than to do a Vajrasattva retreat. So if your Lama is so kind that he will put himself in a position to slap you very hard, and then you accept and you don't have any kind of negative thoughts, and you in fact submit, your karma will be purified. It will be like staying in a Vajrasattva retreat. Imagine Vajrasattva 100,000, how long that takes. But people don't have the merit to receive that. Why? They don't believe. They don't trust. They don't push. How do they know? Because if the Lama tells you to do something, you will do it whether he's watching or not. If the Lama tells you, be nice, don't shout, don't fight, and you keep doing that, you don't feed the karma for the Lama to purify your karma. You don't do it. So you do a retreat instead, the next step, and the next step, and the next step. Why? It becomes longer. Why does radical tantric action be able to do that? Because of your connection to the Lama. And if you have created pain to someone, the pain comes back to you anyway. But the Lama can make it manifest very fast, very, very fast, and very, very quickly. Why? Many lifetimes of absorbing people's pain. You see, when we absorb people's pain, it isn't that their problems come to you and then you just suffer it. When you absorb people's pain on the most highest absolute level, you are patient with them. You accept their faults. And even though they disappoint you and break their promise and samayas, and they always lie to you and they're hypocritical, and no matter how many times you tell them don't, you still patiently teach them and help them and be kind to them. And you have patience with them on the highest absolute level that is accepting other people's pain. Why? Normal people, 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. Nobody would put up with lies. In business, if you lie, you get a bad reputation. Immediately, they'll spread out in the market. She's a liar, he's a liar. He doesn't pay, he doesn't do this. Immediately spread in the market. In a relationship, if you cheat on your relationship, everybody knows. He's a cheater, he's a womanizer. She's a prostitute, she's a slut, she sleeps around. Immediately. Then if you don't take care of her kids, In other countries, they call people in to check on them. So any place, in a village, if you do something wrong, you steal, you have a reputation. Not only you, your whole family down. That's the parents of the stealer. So in business, we cannot lie. We cannot break our commitments. We cannot break our promises. Why? Then you don't get money. In relationships, you can't do that. Why? And you don't get a beautiful wife, a beautiful husband that will love you. You give you support and comfort you. You cannot cheat. For your kids, they lose your respect, and when they grow up, they become monsters. They don't care about you. In life, if you break your commitment and you break your samaya, what's a commitment? What's a samaya? Samaya is a promise you make. Nobody respects you. When you don't have people's respect, what happens? You can't move on in life. Whatever you do have more obstacles. Why? People don't believe you. People don't trust you. Why? Because you keep breaking your promise. So if in life, just for one short life, we can't keep our commitments to our friends, to our parents, to our children, to our wives, to our husband, to ourselves, even a commitment to myself, we cannot keep. How to do spiritual practice? Because your commitments that you keep in one life is just for this life. It's for your happiness of this life, happiness of this life. What about commitments to karma? All future lives. All future lives. This life and future lives. And not only that, remember something. Dharma commitments and samaya, tamdik, is also affecting everybody around you directly. When you bring your commitment to your guru, you think, oh my God, I have this, I have that. I shouldn't have done that. You see, you have to understand something. You have to understand something very clearly. When you go to Genting Highlands and you take $1 million to gamble, you can win $10 million back or you can lose it all. That's a gamble. But you don't blame Genting Highlands if you lost money. So you don't blame your guru if you're taking commitments. Because no one twisted your arm around to take commitments. No one put your gun to your head to go get initiation. You yourself went to get initiation. Some of us got Yamataka, some of us got Vajrasatva, some of us got Hiruka, some of us got Manjushri. Some of us got refuge, some got Bodhisattva vows, some of us got Kala Chakra. No one twisted your arm. In fact, we run around advertising people. Oh, I was very lucky, I got this initiation, I got that practice, right? No one twisted you. No one forced you to go into the Dharma. So don't say, oh, Dharma commitments are difficult. Don't talk about Guru devotion is difficult. Don't talk about 50 stanzas are difficult. Don't talk about all of that. You see, in life, if you don't keep your commitments, you don't move ahead. Why? Your bad reputation. Whatever your motivation. Because people say, I didn't mean it that way. It doesn't matter if you mean it that way or not. You see, you don't go through the rest of your life telling people, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean that. Why am I misunderstood? Why don't they understand what I'm trying to do? Why? Don't talk about all that. Your actions speak louder than words. You see, 5 billion people on this planet don't have time to check you out and see what kind of person you are inside. But they just look at the outside. Very simple. So if you break a commitment in business, you will lose. You will lose your reputation. You will lose your name. You will lose your fortune. You will lose your fame. And you know what? If people are nice to you, they'll turn around and get you back. You know why they get you back? Because you broke the commitment there anyway. And you may have broken your commitment because your grandmother was in the hospital, your father was in the hospital, your mother, your wife, your kids, everybody's in the hospital, and you know, you have to take $1 billion out and pay for their medical bills. And you know what it is like that if you someplace, Singapore, oh God, America, you lose a fingernail and it costs you your arm and a leg. My point? Nobody cares. Nobody thinks about that. And it's unfortunate. And you don't keep blaming the world why. You have to understand that it is you. So when you break a commitment, when you promise to do something, and you make that commitment, and you don't do it, your commitment and your samaya goes down. And in all the spiritual practices, especially in the protective practice, Samji Nyamba is at the beginning of the practice, because the sadhana is very long. And we have to actually do practices to purify, meditation to purify. And let me tell you something. When our broken commitments are very big and very strong, this is what happens, alright? It becomes a one geshe, explained it to me from the commentary of Lord Gojishuken, and this applies to all deities, written by His Holiness Kejichujan Gojishan, that when we break our commitments, by the the way, in the sadhana of Choji Shukin, there's not one, there's two places for confession. Two. That's how important it is. When you break your commitment, you bind the hands of your protector. And you cover his face. And you put something strong over him, he cannot move. It has that kind of effect when you break the commitment. Okay?